What's up, guys? M. Jones back in the house again for another Blu-ray update. And today I'm doing all new movies I personally purchased in the past, I would say 6 weeks. So I know it's been a little while, but I did see Southpaw last night, so check out that review. And I have been purchasing movies for probably about 6 weeks now, and I also have one DVD to go over. But let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So the first one I got, which I saw last fall, which I thought was great, is A Walk Among the Tombstones. I saw this last year, like I said, at the beach with my fiance, and I kind of went into it thinking, I hope it's not like Liam Neeson just being, another Taken, basically, like in the Taken character. But he played a guy that, wasn't as slick as the Taken guy. He played a guy that was more of, had trouble with booze and wasn't the best guy in the world, but he was a cop, and, he kind of gets back into it again. And I really did like this movie. I thought the bad guys, the brothers were the bad guys, not a spoiler. I thought they were outstanding in the movie. And the one guy, I always forget his name, and he was the main bad guy that, that Liam Neeson went after. I've seen him in other movies too, and I cannot remember his name to save my life, but he's this guy right here, which I'm sure I'm not helping at all, but he was the less creepy brother in that duo. If I can remember it as I'm going throughout this, I will say it. I just cannot remember. But this was a really good movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. It wasn't as contrived as I thought it could possibly be, because I thought it'd be a kind of a B-rated Taken-like movie. But it was not. It was a very good movie, and it kind of had its own story. So I definitely suggest this movie. Check it out. Alright, now these are in alphabetical order, as always, as I must tell you. I've been waiting for this movie to go on sale, because it never seems to go on sale, especially Pixar or Disney. But I think I've probably waited 6 years to buy this movie, because I didn't want to spend $30 or $35. I somehow, through the act of God, found Finding Nemo at Best Buy probably a month and a half ago. I got it for $10. I don't know if it was some kind of deal, and this wasn't like I didn't have like a gift card. This was $9.95. I was like, okay, you're coming home. So I put this in my cart, because first of all, it's a great movie, and second of all, I've always told you I'm trying to collect all the movies possible someday for all my kids to be able to watch this. So this is why I got it, and also because I think it's great. But if you haven't seen this movie, go see it. It's so funny. The voice actors are excellent. Ellen DeGeneres is great as Dory. And I just love everything about it. My favorite's the sea turtles that say "dude" all the time, Rocco, and just really just love this movie. And I'm excited to see the second one. I'm excited to see the second one called Finding Dory. So I had to get this, but I never wanted to spend $30 on it. I was so stubborn about it. I just waited and waited and waited for this movie to go much cheaper. And fortunately, I got it at $10. Check this movie out. Phenomenal. Next one I got. The reason I got this, I'm a little nostalgic. My aunt, who has passed away years ago, she took me to see this movie, and I don't think she knew what it was, but she said it was a funny British comedy. And she and her husband, my uncle, used to raise me on like the Monty Python movies, all the Monty Python movies, and she legit I watched that all the time when I was at their house. Well, she didn't really read the reviews, but she took me to see it because she knew that I liked Monty Python as a kid. But she took me to see the full Monty. Now, it wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but it's actually a really funny movie. Robert Carlyle, who I think is a really underrated actor, and he usually plays a bad guy in most movies. I'm pretty sure he was the bad guy in Reindeer Games back in 96, 98, something like that. But anyway, he was a good guy in this movie. And, this movie is exactly what you think it is, but I must say, it was a great movie. And I still remember my aunt being so embarrassed that she took me to see this, and I remember thinking, what are we watching here? This was just... It was just something I wasn't really ready for. But I remember I was 12 years old, and I'm thinking, oh, God, this is not what I was thinking I'd spend my Saturday doing. But it just makes me think of my aunt, and because it was a funny situation. I remember how embarrassed she was, and she explained to my mom, and I just remember laughing I don't give a shit, it's all good. but I did think it was a funny movie. So check this out. You know, don't be closed-minded. It's a good movie, very funny movie, good classic British one. I haven't really bought a lot of new movies in the past, I'd say, past half year. I'd probably say since 2015. I haven't really bought any new ones because A, they're so expensive, and they're always at least $24.99, sometimes $19.99, but mostly $24.99 or more. And I really don't like buying movies that are so new because I think eventually they go down in price in like 2-3 months. But I had to get this one mainly because I love both comedians / actors, equally the same. But I had to get Hard. I thought this movie was absolutely hysterical. I was really worried Will Ferrell was going to try too hard in this movie, but he was so believable as just a mark. He was a mark for his company. You know, his horrible fiance and her father basically found a way for him to get in trouble with looking like he is tampering with money like Bernie Madoff did. And that guy's in jail for like 340 years, so don't think he'll see light again. But, you know, it kind of they made him look like this. And the guy that was his father-in-law, soon-to-be father-in-law, was Coach, you know, Craig T. Nelson. So I love that. As you know, that's my favorite show of all time. So it was cool to see him, but he was a bad guy. And, you know, and he was basically the mark in the whole company that he was stealing the money, that he was, you know, trying to help make more money for his clients. So he has to go to jail. You know, he's going to San Quentin. You know, the judge gave him the hardest possible penalty, going 10 years to San Quentin. So he thinks that Kevin Hart, you know, I guess he was kind of racially discriminating, thinking he would probably know what jail's like. So he doesn't know what jail's like at all. He's really white for like a black guy. So he pretends to be something he's not, and he's trying to be something he'll never be. It's just so funny. I laughed throughout the entire movie. And I really thought that this movie was either going to be terrible or so funny. And I really thought it was so funny. You know, I think Kevin Hart, love him or hate him, I think he was really great in this, and I loved him. So definitely see this movie. You will laugh your ass off. And the best part of the entire movie, I'm not going to tell you, I'm just going to get you set up in case you haven't seen it, is they were at his beautiful mansion's tennis court, which he made into like kind of a, like out in the yard, like in like a prison, and he pretends to be like 3 different races coming after him. And it was the funniest scene I think I've seen in probably like 5-10 years. So check it out, phenomenal. Next one I got a tip from a good friend of mine who said, you know, he knows that I like Clint Eastwood movies and anything Clint Eastwood, you know, acting or directing, and I said, yeah, I would love to, you know, any recommendation you have, please let me know. He's like, have you ever seen Heartbreak Ridge? You know, it was a movie in the 80s. And I said, no, I've never seen it. And he's like, his jaw dropped immediately and says, you need to check out Heartbreak Ridge. So I just recently got this, and I just got this today. I've never seen it. You know, I'm really excited to see this movie. If you've ever seen it, you know, kind of leave a little comment in the box down there and just let me know what you thought. You know, I see there's a young Mario Van Peebles in this movie, who I always thought was a good actor that never really like stuck around. Like I never like heard anything more from him, but I've always liked him, and so he's in this movie, and I was told this movie's outstanding. You know, they say this is a great performance by Clint Eastwood. So I am very excited to see this. I've never seen it, you know, and I hate to say that because I usually review movies for you that I've seen, but I've never seen this. I just got this in the mail today when I got home from work. So I'm very excited to check this out. I'll let you, you know, the next Blu-ray update I'll do, I'll make sure to mention what I thought of this. But yeah, if you've ever seen it, let me know. I've never seen it, nor even heard about it until like last week. So let me know. Pumped. All right. So the next one I got, again, I said I haven't really bought any new movies, but this is like probably the most recent besides Get Hard, is I bought Interstellar. I thought this movie, when I saw it, I thought, holy shit, this is going to be Oscar out the ass. Everything this movie has is going to win an Oscar for. And it didn't really win like any acting for the Oscars, but I know it did pretty well besides that. It was nominated in many other things, but it didn't do as well as I thought in the Oscars. But there were so many other performances that were just so incredible that I'm not surprised that this kind of got trumped a little bit. Even though I really like this movie, a lot of people that I've spoken with about this movie kind of have said it was kind of like that movie The Good Shepherd, like all these great actors, but no one has a clue what the hell they're watching. Like no one has any idea what the hell the story is, what they're talking about. I'm just kind of watching all these special effects and all this CGI, and I'm just kind of sitting there eating popcorn. And that's what I kind of got from people that watch this. I kind of disagree. I kind of really studied up on this movie to see what it was like, to understand it. And I've read some blogs about it, I've read people's opinions, and I get it. I did like this movie, but a lot of people kind of said, I don't know what the hell I'm watching. I don't know what I'm watching. And I must say, I think you might want to watch it again and pay attention, because I thought it was a pretty good movie. A little long, but I thought it was a very good film. So check this out. Interstellar. The next one, again, I'm kind of a mark for loving movies that that are like a trilogy or a series or a sequel. I do appreciate all that kind of stuff. And I had to get this one just because I love the first one. I liked the second one. And I actually really liked the third one, Night at the Museum. And this was, The Secret of the Tomb. And this was, one of Robin Williams' last movies. And he played, Teddy Roosevelt. And he's in love with that Pocahontas girl or whatever. And I did like this movie. I'm not a big Rebel Wilson fan. Is she even on this cover? Oh, yeah, right here. I'm not a huge Rebel Wilson fan. I don't know what it is. I don't laugh as much as I think as most people do when it comes to Rebel Wilson. But she was still good in this movie. But this one I really enjoyed. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was much better than the second one. I think a lot of people might disagree with me, but I really did like it. The one actor, I think his name's Dan Stevens, who's also in A Walk Among the Tombstones. He played this guy right here, and I think he'll be a pretty famous actor. He kind of has the Ewan McGregor look to him, kind of just gives off that vibe, like the Peter Sarsgaard a little bit too. Mostly Ewan McGregor, but I think he's going to be a really good actor, a British guy as well. But yeah, check this out. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I got this movie mainly because I was told it's a really good movie that has a great ending. And I must say, I do love movies that have great endings. And I used to love Minnie Driver when I was a kid. I liked her in Grosse Pointe Blank, and I really loved her in Good Will Hunting, which is probably one of my top 5 favorite movies. So I got this, and I'm not a David Duchovny fan, but I got this because I used to love Minnie Driver as a kid. I used to think she was a pretty good-looking girl, and I still do. But I got Return to Me, and this was a really good movie. This was a really good movie that I just had to get because I remember seeing it, and I just remember thinking it was a good movie, and I haven't seen it in so long, and I just thought it was just an excellent movie. And I must say, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but you will be so happy with how the movie turns out. It was just a really good movie to just to kind of get you back if you're having a bad day. Great movie to pop in just to kind of get back to square one. Really like this movie. I think it's kind of an unknown movie too. And and the reason why I really loved it is mainly because the guy that played in All in the Family, Archie Bunker, Carol O'Connor, he's in this, and he had a really strong performance. So I must say, check this out, really good movie. Came out in 2000. This was a remake, but I've never seen the original, so I really can't compare and contrast. But I got The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, wicked cheap at Best Buy. Like, I think it was like $7.99 or $9.99, very, very cheap. And I thought this was just a great movie. And it's basically a guy that goes into his own fantasy world. And Ben Stiller, I thought, was perfect for this role. It just was a movie that it's kind of like you can take a step back out of your life and just kind of get into your own, like, whatever, and it's so enjoyable. And I just thought it was a great movie. I definitely suggest it. I have never seen the original, but it's probably something I will do. We'll check out. But I really think if you just want to kind of get away from life for a little bit, check this out. Also has, what's her name? Kristen Wiig in it. Not a huge fan of her. I liked her in Bridesmaids, and that's been it since she's been out in the mainstream from SNL. But I really think Ben Stiller, again, steals the performance as always. So check this out. Great movie. This was a movie, and this is my last Blu-ray, and the next one's a DVD. This was a movie that I assumed I had on, in my Blu-ray collection, and it's not good to assume, because it makes an ass out of you and me. But I thought I had this movie. And I remember like a month ago, my fiance and I were having a lazy Sunday, and we had nothing to do, and we were kind of just chilling, and I was so tired, and I said, I really could watch Twister. Did you ever see Twister? She's like, yeah, I love Twister. I'm like, well, let me go get it, because I know I have it upstairs. And so I'm looking, I don't have this movie. I guess I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. I looked everywhere for it. But yeah, Twister, I had to get it. You know, Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, you know, the late Philip Seymour Hoffman, you know, Alan Ruck from Ferris Bueller, Cameron, loved him. So many actors in this movie. You know, Carrie Elway from Princess Bride, and he's awesome. You know, Jake Busey's randomly in this movie. And I just had to get this because I always loved this movie. I remember watching this movie with my parents at a movie theater and being so excited to see this. And I can just remember looking up all about it and watching the behind the scenes and what they said about how they made the sound of the Twister. It was a camel making noises slow down. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. Like, I just love all those little ins and outs of movies. But just such a great movie. You know, I think Jamie Gertz is in it, and she plays Bill Paxton's girlfriend at the time, and she's kind of a stiff and not really right for this, you know, tornado chasing that Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt do. And they used to be lovers and blah, blah, blah. And there's a little story behind that. But just such a great movie. It's I would call a roller coaster ride if you're gonna use that metaphor. It was just a really good movie to check out, and if you've never seen it, absolutely watch it. It was outstanding. Outstanding. And the last movie I got, you know, another tip from a friend, a much older friend who said that, yeah, if you've never seen this movie, you'll love it. You know, and I was like, okay, and because I like, you know, sometimes I like Robert Downey, sometimes I don't. But, you know, his younger stuff I used to like. And this movie's called Heart and Souls. DVD, and I know I hate buying DVD, but this movie is not on Blu-ray. And this was like a 1993 comedy drama movie that it was just a really good movie that I really enjoyed, and I got to see Elizabeth Shue, who I used to have the biggest crush on because my all-time favorite movie is Karate Kid, and she was Allie with an I. So I always loved her in this. But check this out. This is just a chick flick. You know, it's a pretty good movie. I did enjoy it. I thought it was a lot of fun. But you know, nothing that I would be dying to keep watching. But definitely, if you have a girl, watch this with her. She'll love you for it. It's a classic. Check it out. So that is I believe, is this what, July 27th? Is July 27th today? July 27th Blu-ray update. I will probably have an update in about a month, maybe less. But keep watching, and I always appreciate that you've subscribed. And leave any comments you like down in the box. I kind of always want to know what you're thinking. Yeah, so like I said, check out my Southpaw review from last night. Saw it with my buddy Jim Bob. You know, he loved it. I liked it. So check out why I thought I just liked it rather than loved it. And besides that, you take it easy. NK, bye.